So, okay, you ready?
You don't want me to record my audio?
No. Don't worry about it.
You sure? Makes me
Positive.
nervous.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
Okay, so you're going to record everything on your end. I'm not going to record anything.
Would you stop? What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the Ink Strike podcast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my good buddy from Canada, Joe.
Yeah, we're a dual squad today. We're not a tri-squad.
Yes.
We're missing Mark.
Yeah. Mark backed out on us. He tried to tell us about some nonsense about, I don't know, going on vacation, and he tried to tell us how much he didn't want to do that, but he wanted to come do this with us, and it's all lies.
Yeah.
He's just backing out, like he normally does. But a little different. I'm running the show this week, so it's going to be like I won't be zoning out during the episode, because when you're hosting, you got to kind of be on top of stuff. When you're not hosting, it's kind of, you can just chill out, listen to people talk, throw in your 2 cents, and back away. This is a little different. I have never hosted this podcast before, so I will try to do the best I can in Mark's app. I mean, obviously I've hosted other podcasts, but not the Ink Strike. So enough rambling. Let's dive right in. I'm the one rambling, not Joe. Joe's just like, shut up already. First topic of the day. We're going to talk about the next Splatfest coming up, which is actually tomorrow. If you're listening, well, hopefully we'll get this up tomorrow, but it's Friday night for us. Saturday morning will be the Splatfest. Little different, Joe. Little different here. What do you think?
When we first found out about this, I messaged you guys immediately, and you were just starting a If I Ran Nintendo podcast.
Yes.
And I made a comment, and I said, if I ran Nintendo, this is not what I said. If I ran Nintendo, this is not what I would have chosen. And the reason being is all the other Splatfests they've had, everybody has a connection to them. Like hot dogs and hamburgers, everyone knows what they are. Mostly everyone playing a Nintendo game has played Pokemon Red or Blue. And then they came out with this, and it's SpongeBob versus Patrick, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And I have not once in my life watched an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. So I'm like, I have no connection to this.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like they did the Pokemon. I had zero connection to Pokemon. But I knew what it was. I knew who they were. Same thing with this. Like the only connection that I have to SpongeBob is I remember my nephew watching it when he was a little kid. Other than that, I never watched an episode. I mean, I watched a couple episodes with him, but I don't know. I know who SpongeBob is. I know who Patrick is. I couldn't tell you any lines that they've said or anything like that. Like if you showed me a picture, I could go, oh, I probably wouldn't even know Patrick's name if it wasn't for this. If you showed me, I would go, oh, that's a starfish from SpongeBob. I know SpongeBob. I don't think there's a person in the world that don't know SpongeBob. I think this is good. I think this is good for Nintendo because of the fact of it's for kids. The problem here is us, Joe, not what Nintendo is doing. Because this is geared for little kids, which is perfect. This is exactly what they want to do, and I like it. I like the move, not so much for what they're throwing at us. I like it more for, like we've said, like now this is opening it up. It's obvious that Nintendo is starting to work with other companies to go, hey, we want to put this versus this. How long before we get a Reese's peanut butter cup thing where it's like, are you chocolate or peanut butter? Just crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like that to me is like, I'm excited for it. We've talked about it numerous times. Like how many, like that was Mark's biggest complaint about the last one was, sandcastles versus snowmen.
And I thought we weren't going to get a theme Splatfest for a while. I thought they were going to go back to something basic. Again, I expected to get something that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
And I think you're saying that maybe you don't have a connection to Pokemon, and maybe it's because of your age, and I'm a little younger. I think most people who play Nintendo, especially the younger demographic, have a connection to Pokemon.
Absolutely.
And maybe people a little younger than me have a connection to SpongeBob. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna stick on my side. I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say it was a bad choice. But anyway, we have the choice.
Yes.
The first thing that popped into mind is because it's a theme Splatfest is what's going on? Why SpongeBob and versus Patrick? What's going on here? So the first thing I did was I went to Wikipedia to see if there were new episodes of SpongeBob coming out. And I don't really know how they structure their seasons, but it seems like they'll come out with 5 episodes and then go on hiatus for 5 months and then come out with 3 episodes. But it seems like that's what's going on right now. I think there were like 2 episodes over the last month, and then there's 2 or 3 more episodes coming out. So
Yeah.
I think that might be what's going on
here. For Nickelodeon, it's more like an advertising thing. And for Nintendo, it's probably they're probably getting paid to do this. Honestly.
Yeah, that was my first question. Is Nintendo getting paid, and does that open up the gates for other opportunities for other it's native advertising basically, right? There's companies coming in, they're paying Nintendo and saying, make this your next Splatfest. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but anyway, I don't like this theme, but maybe the next one I'll be totally on board.
But I think at the end of the day, like, I don't think it's a bad theme. I think it's, look, am I through the roof? Like, oh my God, I get, because I didn't even take SpongeBob. I took Patrick. I know that's ahead. We probably should have saved that for a minute. But I was just like, it's fine. To me, it's like every other. I don't get excited for the choosing of the topics. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's whatever one they throw at me. I'll pick one. I'm good with it. This was just par for the course for me. I like the idea behind it, where like I said, like maybe we'll start getting like Link versus Mario, or Peach versus Rosalina, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you could start getting these other. It's showing Nintendo like more themed like type stuff is kind of cool, like we talked about it before, like Batman vs Superman was the perfect one that they should have done. Like that would be
awesome.
But what if they did Captain America versus Iron Man? That would be awesome. So I think they're definitely opening the gates for some pretty cool stuff heading
I guarantee you when they start celebrating Zelda 30th anniversary and the NX is coming out and Zelda U/NX is coming out at the same time, I guarantee you there's going to be a Zelda themed Splatfest.
Yeah, it'll probably
almost be guaranteed.
I think it'll be Tingle versus Link.
Tingle all the way, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're a Patrick guy?
Yes, I took Patrick.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's fitting for you because Patrick. I think I don't know a lot about Patrick SpongeBob, but Patrick is a silly kind of guy. He just goes for maybe the weapon or the outfit that looks cool and not necessarily what's functional. And I'm more the
it's a backhanded compliment, Joe. Holy cow, dude! You're it's like Sean Capri, man. You're coming in with something nice and then bang on the way out. Like, come on now. I thought Canadians are supposed to be fun loving.
I don't think that's all Canadians, but no, it's not a negative comment. We know from the show now that you like what looks cool, and that's not a bad thing.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing.
And I'm the technical guy, and so SpongeBob seems like a more. I think he thinks through his decisions a little more. So. I'm more a SpongeBob guy, but I do think Patrick's going to be the more popular choice this time.
I don't know, man. I think SpongeBob might be more popular. I don't know. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What team I'm, your best bet is to go on SpongeBob right now because Patrick will lose because I picked him. I think I've won one time in all this time that I've done. Like I get whatever team I pick loses. It is what it is. So if you're out there listening, but it's too late to pick, your best bet would be go the opposite of me.
Yeah. The one more thing I'll say about the Splatfest is I'm interested to see the numbers again because we had this discussion on the last episode that I think the changes are going to bring the results a little closer together. So I'm just interested to see the numbers and confirm that what we talked about last episode is indeed working.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Okay, so let's move along. And next up is Miitomo. Now, this is going back 3 weeks ago, I think now, 2 weeks ago now. I think it's working on the third week. Nintendo launched its first mobile app called Miitomo. Now you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, like, I'm sure that the Splatoon people got to know this by now. If you don't, it's news. Okay, but you're sitting there going, like, why are you talking about Miitomo? This past week, Nintendo came out and said, if we get 20,000 retweets, we will put out costumes for Boy Inkling and Girl Inkling. If they only got 10,000, they were just going to do Boy Inkling. So I think it was like 12 hours after they posted that, and they had 16,000 retweets. So I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked before, and I meant to check before we came on. I think they reached the 20,000. I can't see how they couldn't and this was a couple days ago. So the numbers were staggering. How many retweets they had? Have you touched Miitomo at all?
Very little, but a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued. When I heard that there were Splatoon costumes coming, I did pull out the app that day and started playing with it a little bit. I've only logged into it maybe 5 different days, but anyway, I'm starting to get used to it. I'm playing around. You know, getting the cool little pictures of the day are pretty awesome. Mark shared one day, and it was just his me, and he was kind of flying in the clouds, and it was really silly and funny, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So I built my me up and put its profile together, and I like some of the pictures, and I think it'll be cool to have some pictures of my me with the different Splatoon outfits.
Yeah.
And I think these costumes are really going to drive people to the game, especially when they start getting the Zeldas and the Marios and Metroid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because even though I barely touch the app, when these costumes come out, if I have to pay, I know I have a few coins. I'm not really totally familiar with the coin system yet,
Mm-hmm.
but if I did have to pay a $1 or $2, I'm probably gonna do it because Splatoon's awesome, basically. But you have a lot more experience than I do.
Yeah, for me, the main reason why I have dived into this and stay with it is the reward system through My Nintendo. So there is a way to earn coins that can transfer over to your My Nintendo account, which I'm all about, and I'm all about My Nintendo and sticking with that stuff. So that's one thing. On the other side, there's two things that gets me a little excited about this. One, the opportunity for more stuff to come, like Zelda themed stuff and Mario themed stuff and Metroid and Animal Crossing and all that stuff. This shows this is where Nintendo's taking this app, and I'm cool with that because I just like it. It's fun. The second thing that has me kind of excited is Splatoon is a brand new IP. It's the newest IP that Nintendo put out. And the fact that it's that popular that Nintendo goes, we're going to start this off with Miitomo. Miitomo is going to start off with Splatoon and Go. Like, that speaks volumes for this game. And for the game that nobody wanted because they were like, we don't want motion control. Why are you painting the ground? We want a shooter. This isn't a shooter. Why is it not first person? Why is it third person? That's how it all started at E3 a couple years ago. To this point now where it's like they are the be-all, end-all, and like everything seems to be starting to start and stop with Splatoon. So I'm excited for it because it's just more Splatoon, and it's showing that this game has legs, and it's taking a world of its own.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see where else the game starts showing up. Like, I know that they have a few costumes in Mario Maker, which is cool. Now it's in Miitomo. We have the Splatoon game. I'm interested to see what else comes up. Would there be, I think a platforming Splatoon type game would do really well on the 3DS or on mobile. I think that would be awesome.
That would be so cool. That would be awesome.
And it would be it would be unique as much as the 3D game is, because.
Well, let's look at it like this. Did you play the single player campaign at all?
Yeah, I played most of it. I've never finished it though.
Oh, you got to finish it, Joe.
Oh, I know.
Seriously, that final boss is one of the best final bosses I played in years. He's a Nintendo final boss all the way through. Colorful. The music is amazing. I don't know if you ever watch the video that I put up of the show, but the beginning opening music is his theme music, and it's more of like a techno type music. It's just cool. It's really awesome. You got to try to do that this week. Like you would really get into it. Like
I'm looking forward to getting into it. You know, I need to do that, and then have the amiibo challenges, which I never finished. I kind of got halfway through.
Yeah, I did part of them. Some of them were really hard, but I did some of that. And the gear to me, you know what? Now I might actually go back and do it because at the time the gear was only like a 2. You could only you only had 2 slots for the gear. For me, I was like, that's kind of a waste of time when I need 3 slots, like for me. But now that we can re-roll stuff and add slots. No. When I first saw that one, I was like, that's Predator. I want that. And then I started when I got the first piece of equipment, I was like, it's only got 2 slots. I don't want this. And I stopped. So it's cool and it looks cool, but no, it's not for me. No, never going to happen.
Yeah, we will. I'll finish the amiibo stuff, and I'm definitely going to finish the single player. I've just been taking my time with it. When I pull out Splatoon, I just want to play a regular game. So, but yeah, I just want to kill people.
But this is perfect because you actually kill a lot of stuff in this. So go for it. You'll enjoy it. You get the best of both worlds. You get to complete the solo campaign, and you get to kill people. You're loving life.
I'll get it done.
Okay. I want to. All right, I'm going to skip where I was going to go. We're going to go one other way first. Let's talk about the weapons that just came out. So this is your foray. This is your baby. We'll start with you. What did you think about the stuff that hit?
Okay. We talked about 4 weapons, and we didn't know what they all were. And now we have 8 different weapons. There's, first of all, the wasabi splatter shot people, go away. Oh my God, dude. There are so many wasabi splatter shots, and they are destroying everybody. Like, I don't understand what happened. Like, no one was using the splatter shot before, and now everyone's using this wasabi splatter shot, and they are absolutely destroying. I almost want to say that it's overpowered because every game I play, there's a wasabi splatter shot, and they have the most kills, and they're just destroying. Yeah. So that's my complaint. Now, the weapon, I talked about going with the permanent ink brush, and I did not stick with that. I'm not a big fan of the Kraken. I like the Kraken. I'm just not used to it.
Yeah. The Kraken was cool. I usut to use the Kraken because I used to use the roller at first. So the Kraken was what was with it. And I learned the Kraken. I love the Kraken. But now it's just like, since I moved away from the roller, I haven't used the Kraken in a while. And it's just like, it's okay if you're in a jam. Like, if there's people coming on you. It's just nice to click that thing and just wipe them out. But if there's nobody near you, it's like, this is a waste.
Yeah, and the ink brush it's a really difficult weapon to get used to. You really have to spend time with it and get good at it. And maybe I'll do that in the future, but I just wasn't interested at the time because what really stood out to me was the soda slosher. I'm a slosher guy. I've mostly used the tri-slosher as my main weapon, which I've started to get bored of a little bit because I've used it a lot. And I've tried the other sloshers and didn't like them because of what was paired with them. But this soda slosher, this is something else. This is one of the most aggressive weapons in the game. First of all, the slosher has a great range as it is. And it's great for climbing walls and stuff because you just hit, you pull the trigger once and the bucket throws out a stream of ink and you can swim up things super quick and easy. Pair that with the splat bombs, which you can throw at long range, short range. It really helps push back your opponents. And then add on top of that, your special is the Ink Zuka, which on top of that just destroys. The Ink Zuka is a difficult a special weapon to use because you do have to be really good at using it and really accurate. But man, the soda slosher is a super aggressive weapon, and I think it might become one of my mains. So what did you use, Bobby? You come in here and you usually have a big rant and complaint about the weapon that you use. So
you know what? I forget the name of it. It was the pink one, the pink gun.
The berry splatter
Oh
shot?
my, that's what it was. The berry splatter shot. I started with that. Hated it. Thought it was horrible. Wasn't liking it at all. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, it doesn't really put a big amount of ink on the ground. I was running. I was shooting. I was like, this isn't very good. I switched to the wasabi splatter shot.
Okay.
I like it. I like that gun. It was doing damage. Like you said, it was wiping people. I was getting killed, but I was taking out 2 guys before I was getting hit. And it was like, this is awesome because it's quick, it's powerful. It's like I would spin, hit my guy twice, done, and then as I would turn, I'd get shot or whatever. But it was nice. And like you said, it's like all over right now. Like everybody's, because I think the Splatter Shot Junior was a popular gun, but it doesn't do the damage it feels like with this one. This one just feels more potent.
What's the sub weapon with that? I don't remember.
Ink Strike.
No, that's special. What's the sub weapon?
Oh, I think it's bombs.
Splat bombs?
I think it's sticky bombs. No, I think it's the sticky ones, the one that sticks to the wall.
I really like those, but I do not like. As you know, I don't like the Ink Strike, so that I didn't even try that weapon. But I might go and try one of the other splatter shots just because I see people killing with this one. I would just like something with a different special, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It was when it first launched everything. I bought as much as I could. There's a couple weapons I actually ran out of money. I almost bought the whole box. I almost bought up everything he had. I did buy the roller to try it. Kind of like the roller. That thing was wicked. Like, it was, when you threw paint, you could wipe some stuff out with that thing. I didn't use it in game. I just did it in the test session. But I liked the roller a little bit. That thing was pretty beast.
Yeah, the dynamos are very powerful. It's scary coming up against a dynamo.
Yeah. I hope they do more of this. I like this. I like this that they gave it to us. I wouldn't mind more.
Yeah, we're gonna get another weapon pack, right? This is pack 102. Sheldon's picks, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I would like them to continue this. That's the thing. Like, I feel like I wouldn't mind shelling out money for this stuff. Like, I appreciate the fact that they're giving it to us for free, but I would just be like, hey, here's some money. Throw a couple extra maps at us as well while you're doing all this. Like, that would be awesome. And I wouldn't mind it if they would space this stuff out. Like, I appreciate the fact that they did these weapons and they threw them at us all at one shot, but I like the fact of when they used to do, like, a weapon a week. And it was like, oh, we got this weapon this week. I can't wait to find out what next week is. It just has that anticipation to come back each week. So for me, I'd like to see them do that more often moving forward. Just give us one weapon a week. And if you want to do weapons, that's fine. But I would prefer that as opposed, because you think about it, they would have done a weapon a week. That's 8 weeks. That's 2 months worth of coming back. You know what I mean? Like, they could have stretched it a little bit, and you would have people coming back for 8 weeks. I mean, in theory, they're hoping everybody's coming back as it is. But I feel like the weapons brings a new crop of people back every time. You know what I mean?
I think this might be, it could be an experiment for Nintendo, though maybe they're trying to see how much attention do we get if we put out a weapon a week versus if we put out 8 weapons at once. Do we get more people tweeting or doing blog posts or talking on podcasts and doing YouTube videos if we put them all at once? I think that's what they're experimenting with right here, and we'll find out, I guess.
So we tried. I'm going to move along real quick, but we tried to have a meetup this week or last week, and it was my fault. I got botched up the last minute, and my wife had to go to work, and it kind of, like, by the time she got home, and I had stuff I had to get done, and I couldn't do it because the dog was running wild. But you wound up going on with Gary Gray, correct? You and Mark?
And Mark.
Okay. Yeah. And I got it. And the reason why I'm bringing this part up, because I wanted to call a little timeout here for a second. I encourage everybody to go watch the video portion of this podcast this week. It's on the Geek Guru, or I'm sorry, it's all actually on the Nintendo Guru channel. So just search Nintendo Guru on YouTube, or you'll see a link in the groups or whatever. Just click it. Even if it's just to watch the first 13, 20 seconds, Gary has reached out to us and did an amazing animation introduction to the show. So
it's awesome.
It's an opening. Yeah, it's an opening of the show. He basically took our artwork that we had been using for the show and animated it. And it's just cool looking. It really is. I tip my cap to him. He did a heck of a job with it. And we can't thank him enough for doing this. It's just, the guy is a class act through and through, and we really appreciate him just reaching out to us and asking us if it was okay to do that. So thank you very much, Gary, for that.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
But you guys, so tell me what you guys did, because I don't even know. I know you guys met up to play, but how did it work out?
We just did some regular turf wars because there's only the three of us, so we can't really do. You could do a tri squad if you really want to, but if you're not familiar with squads, you can do a dual squad. You can do 2 players, and it will put 2 more players on your team, and then you'll verse off against a team of 4. But if you're a tri squad, they don't give you a 4th person. You end up being 3 versus 4. So since it was just the 3 of us, we were just doing the regular turf war battles. And it made me think about the logistics of organizing something like this, because I've seen streamers do it, and it's a lot easy for streamers because when they're streaming, they have a chat room that people can join into and post their Nintendo IDs. If you're not doing a live stream, I'm trying to figure out where can we go besides Facebook where we can have a chat room and people can start posting their Nintendo ID. So I'm not sure about that right now. Maybe there does need to be a stream where there's people to hang out and chat.
Well, the way we always did it, because I did it a couple times in the past, and the way I always did it was, this time I did it. It was, and the fault falls completely on me. I should have been more proactive with this and getting it done. And we will. In 2 weeks, I'm busy for the next 2 weeks with work. But after that, I promise we will get a group together and do this. And the best way to make this work is this. You do one of 2 things. We start 1 room or 2 rooms. It all depends on ultimately how many people we have that are interested in playing. Now, the last time I did this, the room filled in seconds. It was jammed up. People were trying to get in. They couldn't get in. The way I like to do it is myself make a room, Mark can make a room, and then if we have enough people, we'll get you to make a room. If not, you could jump in with myself or Mark, whatever. But the reason why I'm saying me and Mark make rooms is I can record game footage, Mark can record game footage, and then ultimately the idea is that the next time we do a podcast, people could actually watch the matches taking place while they listen to the podcast. Now, that to me is fun for everybody because it gets people involved to see. But the way we do it is we start a chat, we post it up, and then we tell people, start leaving. Here's my ID. Here is Joe's ID. Here is Mark's ID. You just list them out. And then just tell people, add me. And you'll get the friend requests. So you just add all the people that request you, and then the easiest way is you open a room and they can search for you. They search for you, they grab you, they go follow, and they can play in that group. Or we can make it more private and then actually post a code up for people to join.
Sure. And you would do this on Facebook or
just do it in our Facebook group. We can do it in our Facebook group. We can also do it in the Splatoon group that we're a part of as well. And it's simple. It's easy. And then once you start the match, you start a chat, you just start, and everybody starts chiming in there. Or you could open up a chat on Facebook, grab everybody that's talking or in that room at the same time. But the problem with that is you got to be Facebook friends with everybody to do that. So that's not a big deal. But it'd be kind of cool just to have a chat room going and people just chatting as they go. I feel like Skype can get a little monotonous.
I hate Skype. I would prefer not to use Skype.
Yeah, I would prefer not to really talk to people when I play because I I stink when I'm trying to talk to people and play. I'm better when I'm concentrating on what I'm trying to do. But I mean, we could do, but it just makes it hard to do all that. Like, I'm concentrating on the match and I want to play the match to the best of my ability. But so that's something to look forward to in the future.
Sure. So maybe in a couple weeks on a Saturday again, we'll try and do this.
Yeah, we'll shoot what's best. We'll put a feeler out there, ask everybody what's best, what day's best for them, and then we'll go from there. And we'll just do it, and we'll slap it together, and we'll do it more. I'll be more proactive with it and make it work. And you'll see, we'll fill 2 rooms up, no problem, no even a question.
Right. Sounds like a plan.
So before we jump into our final topic, we had another topic that came up just before the show started, and that was your idea. So tell us what we're going to be discussing here.
Okay, well, I was playing Splatoon last night, and of course I got stuck with my most hated level, and I was fuming. I was doing horrible for the reason this, you'll know what I'm talking about when I tell you what the level is, but I hate this level, and I thought it would be cool if we just talked about what level do we hate the most. So I can't stand Mahi Mahi Resorts. It is just an awful, unforgiving level, mostly because of the water. Yeah. So it's not, there's other levels where you can fall off the stage and stuff, but nothing like Mahi Mahi Resorts. You can fall in the water all over this level, and it's really frustrating if you're not super careful. Or you might be swimming and you might be about to make a jump, and there'll be a little piece that's the enemy's ink or is uninked, and your swim speed slows down, and you go to make the jump and you don't make it. It's really frustrating. At the same time, when you're coming up against your enemies, and you know me, Bobby, I like to get the kill, and maybe you're closing in on the kill, and your enemy accidentally falls in the water. Well, that's not cool either. I want credit for the kill. So, the way the level's laid out is not bad. It's pretty cool. And especially once the water level changes, and, it kind of helps out with the fact that you can fall in the water in a lot of places. But there's too much. I think there's too much water. There's too many places to fall in. There's the platforms, you got to jump over them. It's a pain. I hate this level. Every time it's on the rotation, I just cringe because I hate playing it, because most of my deaths are from falling in the water. And maybe that's a reflection. Maybe I just suck at swimming. I need to improve my movement skills, but I don't know. I kind of feel like some of it's the level.
Yeah. I don't mind. Yeah. I don't mind the level that bad. I kind of like it. I like the difference. I like when the water like lowers, or actually the level raises in certain areas, because it changes the dynamic. It can change the dynamic of the game very quickly. You start playing and you think you got control of everything, and you're running and you're doing everything. And all of a sudden, that buzzer goes off, and when you're completely winning, next thing you know, the other teams turn the tide on you. And I like that, because I think what happens is people that are winning kind of stay focused where they're winning, and they're not realizing, like, well, it just opened the map up and people are able to get into the other areas and take them out and start to paint those areas. I don't mind that level that much. I do find myself dying more by falling in the water than getting shot, but a lot of times because I take crazy jumps and I try to do this crazy stuff that I typically shouldn't. Like, I start to get cocky and confident in my jumps and stuff, and the next thing I know, I'm taking these crazy leaps that I shouldn't be doing. But overall, I like the aspect of like jumping over the water, and because the reason why I like that is you can get away from people quicker, as long as you kind of like you're paying attention to what you're doing and setting up shots and all that. You could definitely take over and get away. For myself, I can't stand the Moray Towers, and I hate it because of the fact of it's a sniper haven.
Yeah.
and they can just wipe you out within a couple seconds, and it gets frustrating because you're trying to get it. I'm the type of guy that when I'm playing, be the one that gets to the other side of the map and puts the other team on defense. Because a lot of times, if you're strong at doing that, you can change the tide of the game pretty quickly. It's very difficult to get to the other side of the map because that sniper never fails to like one or two spots on the map, and they just continue to pick you off every single second, and it is so frustrating.
If you like playing a charger and you see Moray Towers on the map rotation, you're pulling out your charger because you know that you're going to have a super big advantage there. And you're right. The key is to get onto the other side of the map. But to get to the enemy side of the map, you have to go through that death zone in the middle, and that is just an absolute nightmare. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I like Moray Towers in certain modes. So in splat zones, for example, I have a really good time because I figured out that you just kind of go in circles around the zone, and there's a few places you can go. You can put an ink stream up to the tower above, and you can go up there and jump down and swim back up, and it's easy to get away from your enemies that way. And then you can kind of right below where the splat zone is, there's like a little lower level, so you can just kind of keep going in circles there and have your enemies chasing you all day while the rest of your team secures the zone. So I don't necessarily like in all modes. It's kind of a pain with tower control, but I like it in splat zones. It's a good level.
Yeah, I didn't rant too much about that. I don't honestly I don't like it, but there's really no levels that super frustrate me to the point where I rant. The weapons make me rant more than this. Now, if you stuck me with a garbage weapon on this, you would hear some ranting because I wouldn't know what to do.
Speaking about that, we talked about the weapons that we chose, and last episode I gave you the offer. I said, if you want to stick me with something to hear me complain and curse next episode, that I will give you that option. So do you want to do a weapon assignment this time around? Do you want to stick me with something? It's a one-time offer.
One time. I want to put you with a charger.
You
can pick anyone you want.
Any charger. I had some practice with chargers, but I am by no means that well practiced with them. But I'm willing to go with it.
There you go. Yes. Take a charger, and I want whatever charger has the ink strike as the weapon.
Oh,
that's your weapon. That is your weapon.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna put it out there.
Okay. No.
Yeah. I want to hear what you got to say when you come back with that one.
Is there a splatter scope? I like the splatter scope specifically. I hate the E-liter doesn't come with the ink strike anyway. I hate E-liters just because you have a slow movement speed and the charge takes so long. So I don't have a great time with E-liter, but I'm gonna check out the Squiffers and the splatter scopes, and I'm sure one of them has an ink strike. I can't remember off the top of my head.
That's what you have. That's your stuff. I want to see. I would love to be able to watch you play. I would love to watch you get all frustrated and screaming at the TV.
Can I frustrate you?
No. This was part of the deal. Well, I want to see how it works for you when we come back. How about that? The next episode, I'll let you stick me with something. We'll go there.
Okay.
But this week, no, because you have that look in your eye. So, although this would probably be the week to do it, because next week you'll be so mad. You'll be sticking with the worst weapon there is. All right, so last topic, and obviously the biggest amount of rumor that's hitting all over the internet right now is Nintendo's next console, the NX. There was a rumor that went out last week from Emily Rogers, which it wasn't from her, but she confirmed it, which was basically, maybe she did, I forget, I can't remember. I think that 10K posted it in NeoGAF, and she kind of confirmed it, but I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I apologize. But it was basically, in a nutshell, that Nintendo is going to port over a few games to the NX, and one of those games is Splatoon. Now, we've all been, I know myself definitely has been very vocal on this podcast about how we feel like when the NX hits, Splatoon needs to be there day one. This sounds like that's what they're going to do. It sounds like they're not ready for Splatoon 2, but they recognize that Splatoon is a huge IP for them, and they feel like we feel it needs to be there day one. That's huge. That's awesome. My question to you is, if this is true, what do you want them to do with this?
Okay, well, we're on the right track here. I think it is the proper thing to port Splatoon to the NX. Mm-hmm. We've kind of talked about this before, and Splatoon's not an old game. It's Splatoon turn a year old next month. I think Splatoon's a year old, and it's got a decent following. But on the NX, the opportunity is going to be huge, especially if they knock the NX out of the park and they actually get people flocking back to Nintendo. There are going to be new people coming into this game. And I think it's a good enough game to bring new people into it. So besides getting a couple of new maps and new weapons and all that stuff, I have one main request. And it's my biggest beef with not just Splatoon on the Wii U, but games on the Wii U in general. And it's this. You cannot play local multiplayer on the Wii U on many games, including Splatoon.
Yeah.
So when I first seen Splatoon, I was like, "This is cool. This is a shooter." And I've played shooters with my wife before, and this looks fun and playful. So I'm like, "Oh, this is a great game that we can play together." And so I get it home, and I didn't even realize this. I expected to take the game home and jump into a local multiplayer, and you can't do it. All you get is this weird little balloon shooting game, and it was super disappointing. So to this game, to this day, she hasn't touched the game, and that's really disappointing because I play a lot and I really enjoy playing it. So that's the one thing I want to see. If they gave us nothing else, that's the one thing I want to see, and I think they need to do it. What would your big thing be, Bobby?
Well, I have to first. I want to concur. If the fact that me and my wife didn't have a second Wii U in the house, we would have killed each other for the Wii U. Because she loves this game just as much as I do. I don't know about as much, but she's put a lot of time in. And when we would go, like when Splatoon first came out, we would get groups of people like all the time playing, and she'd run upstairs and jump on with me, and we take it, we all put on our names GG for Time Geek Guru after our names, and like you would see the room start filling up with a bunch of GGs, and we'd get like 3 or 4 or whatever, and it was just fun to watch, and a couple times we got to the point where it was like 7 or 8 of us in the room, and it was just cool to play with everybody. So I agree that like that would be a nice thing to have. I don't think that's my biggest thing. My biggest thing, what I've always been saying, is it's just they need new maps because you need to entice the old fans to buy the new game. New fans are going to kind of jump on, I think, because they're going to look at it and go, man, I've heard so many good things about this. I want to see what it's all about myself. I would like to see them elaborate more on the solo campaign. But my main thing is I want new maps, new weapons, and I want them to, they don't necessarily have to dive into the Nintendo stuff, but I would love a Super Scope 6. That would be awesome. I really thought they were going to put that out. I would love the Wii Zapper that they had at one point. That would be cool to have. Like I want them to dive into some of the Nintendo nostalgia weapons because they had the Zapper. They had the NES Zapper.
They should have a Nintendo glove that throws paint.
That's what I said. I said all along, the coolest thing would be a power glove, right, that you had on your hand with a roller, with no stick. It was just the power glove controlled the roller. And then, like, if you flicked, you'd see the guy pick the glove up and go like this, and it would flick the paint. Or, if you turned and stuff, it would look so cool. I said that from day one. When they first announced them Zappers, I said to my wife, we did a video, and a first impressions video of Splatoon, me and her, and I said, man, I want a power glove. That would be so awesome to have that. Yeah, sign me up all day long for that. That'd be the greatest thing ever. Okay,
maybe they're saving that for you, Bobby. They're waiting until the NX and they're going to give you your power glove. Maybe.
I would die a happy man. at that point. Okay, so there we go. There's our episode, and I think we did pretty good without Mark. We could go
sure.
without Mark anytime. We're good. We're good. And so thank you guys all for listening. If you listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, we fully appreciate that. We'd like it if you could pop in and give us a rating. It'd be really awesome as well if you have time. Also, we're on iTunes. Yeah, we're on YouTube. I just said iTunes, didn't I? We're on YouTube. The Nintendo Guru channel is where we archive all of our footage. We basically get 2 episodes that stick to iTunes, and then after that, it kind of disappears. So you'll basically only get the last 2 episodes. But if you want to hear some of the older stuff, just pop onto YouTube, and you can watch the videos and all that stuff that we have up. And that is all. So I think we're going to what?
Stay fresh.
Fresh. Wow. That was bad.